Hello, Octalysis primers. Today, I want to talk about one of the most important and advanced topics I've talked about in Octalysis Prime. And the topic is designing game loops through boosters. And the reason why I wanted to create this video is because recently I've been working with my team of Octalysis Group consultants on a variety of different projects. And I noticed their design seems to sometimes have a flaw that's a little bit hard to detect and it's hard to notice the difference of. And I realized that it's about creating actual game loops, and it's having a strong differentiation between activity loops and game loops. Now keep in mind, Octalysis Group consultants are like the best in the world already. Like, these are the people who've studied my Octalysis framework for years, 2 years to 4 years. They've a lot of them won design competitions. That's how we recruit them. We host design competitions. Many of them actually come from the Octalysis Prime community. Now there's a joke that Octalysis Prime is like a breeding ground for Octalysis Group consultants, and that's a great thing because that means people are learning well. But then I realized that even though they're really amazing, they're representing me and my company to design for companies like Lego, for companies like Volkswagen, and which is also Porsche and Bentley or whatnot. They're literally the best in the world, and at what they do. You know, clients pay a lot of money for their designs, and clients are very satisfied afterwards, to the extent that they a lot of times extend a future contract, and they want more and more projects with our team. So these are great people, but there is something lacking, right? And here we are in Octalysis Prime, always looking to improve our designs and become like extraordinary in what we do. So I started creating some kind of training for creating game loops for my team. And like I said, Octalysis Prime is like the place where I try to share everything I can. So I moved a lot of that training here, and I've even made some extra stuff. So hopefully this is something that you guys will check out and learn. And this is going to be extremely important for you if you want to participate in these design challenges that we put out. As of now, the eBay design challenge is out there because we're probably looking for anywhere between 1 to 3 new consultants. But understanding this game loop through boosters would be very, very important. So the first thing I want to explain is the difference between an activity loop and a game loop, right? A lot of people are not aware of that. So earlier, if you have been in the community for long enough, you'll know we did a food hero design challenge where we go in and we design how to make kids eat healthily in China and different countries. And so we worked with the client, and then we released it to the public, and a lot of people had good designs. And one of the things that we often see for people's designs, like even if they're good, they have something we call the activity loop. Almost all systems have what we call activity loop, right? And so we'll see here, like, oh, the day starts here. You know, we start doing step 1, and then we do step 2. So you see, teacher checks the food journals. You get 1 power card, blah blah blah, right? And then you do each of these steps, and at the end it says eat at least 1 healthy food and register in the food journal. That's the last step, and then it goes back to the next day, the beginning of the day. Now, this is an activity loop because this is the loop you want people to do over and over and over and over again, right? However, it is not what I consider a game loop, because the last step doesn't necessarily empower the first step. And maybe my definition is different from others out there. I believe my definition is more useful to creating better design. So bear with me on that. Usually the last step is I'll complete the whole process, right? In sometimes like finish a module, right? And then of course, to loop back, people should start the module, another module again, right? The thing is that the last step does not really empower the first step. It ends, and you're hoping people will come back and do the first step, right? You want people to do the activity loop, but they're not creating some kind of game loop where the last step empowers the first step and the whole thing is interesting. So I know, still sounding abstract. So let me give you an interesting example. If you look at a simple gamification examples, and believe me, there's so many gamification examples out there that looks exactly like this, right? User performs desired actions, then they get points, right? And after a certain amount of points, they get free stuff. So this is like a loyalty program. You go to the restaurant 10 times and you get a free drink, right? And then it ends, right? You get the free stuff and it ends, very linear. And then the gamification designer says, please, please, please come back and do the desired action again because we have more free stuff, right? And of course, if the free stuff, the reward is valuable, it's actually something people want. Keep in mind, people have inflated desires, right? If you get the same reward over and over again, it becomes boring. It's not as appealing. So, but if we are lucky, then users might go to the beginning and do more desired actions, go to the restaurant again, start accumulating more points, and get the free stuff again. And then it ends, right? Now, a small modification is this, which is the user performs desired action, they get points, and after a certain amount of points, they get a badge. Yay! That's what most gamification platforms do, right? For CRMs, for workplace gamification, a lot of them are like this. And then it ends. So, and again, the gamification designer is saying, please, please, please come back and do this again, right? Please, we have more badges, we have more interesting things. Now just come back and do this desired actions again. Trust me, you'll enjoy it. But it's completely up to the user's mercy to actually come back and do it. But when they finished, there's so many other distractions and triggers and black hat stuff that they just may not come back, which is why a lot of people don't come back to experiences. They drop out. Now, some gamification designs, still simple. The points and the badges are split, right? You do the desired action, you get points, and it ends, right? The points, just a number, makes people feel good. Oh, I have 20,000 points. Now I have 25,000 points. Yay! Right? So that's one system on its own. Maybe there's a leaderboard about how people rank with their points. And then after some milestones, maybe unrelated to points, like, oh, you finished 10 modules, or you I don't know, stayed in the ecosystem for more than 2 years, right? You get a badge, and then it ends, right? And similarly, the game experience is saying, please come back and do this desired actions again because you want more points, right? Because 30,000 is better than 20,000. Please come back. And then, oh, you already have 27 badges, but there's still 3 more badges, so please come back, right? So that's simple gamification. You probably know you see this a lot. Like, I'd say 80-90% of gamification designs out there in the world is this, and this is not good, right? It's heavily extrinsic motivation. There's no core drive 3 empowerment of creative feedback. Let's call out the octagon. And there's no social influence. There's no unpredictability. It's a very like scarcity, pretty much. Hey, you want this reward? Do these steps. We're dangling this reward, right? That's mostly it. Now, if you look at a simple game, one of the most simplest game structures out there, it's already more complex than we've just shown, right? Let's say the desired action is to kill monsters. And after killing a lot of monsters, the user gets EXP, right? They can get gold, and they could get treasure chests or loots. When you kill monsters, something drops. And so what does that give you? Well, EXP, after a certain amount of EXP, you level up. Well, what does leveling up do? Well, it makes you stronger. Well, if you get a lot of gold, and if you get a lot of treasure chests and a lot of loot, you can get gear, right? Gold, you buy gear, and treasure chests, usually based on luck, the more you open, the better gear you get. And what does a gear do? Well, it makes you stronger also, and it makes you look cool, right? You used to have no armor, you used to guy hang out, and now you're like, I look like a powerful warrior, right? Now, keep in mind, looking cooler ends right there. That's the end of it. Once you look cool, you don't do anything with it, right? It doesn't empower the game. But becoming stronger makes you do the desired action even better, right? When you become stronger, you come back and you kill more monsters faster, which will allow you to get more EXP, and you also level up more, and you become even stronger, and you come back and kill more monsters, you get more gold, you get more loot, you get more treasure chests, gets you more gear, makes you look even cooler, and makes you stronger. So that is what we call a game loop. a system where going through it makes you want to come back and do the desired action more because it empowers desired actions. Remember, I keep talking about boosters being one of the best type of rewards because it has core drive 3, empowerment of creativity and feedback. Do you know why boosters relate to empowerment of creativity and feedback? Well, because when there's boosters, there's strategy, right? There's choices on how to optimize. When do you get the badge, the boosters? What boosters do you get? When do you activate them? Are there synergetic boosters that if you activate the 3 of them together, there's synergetic relationships? Just like, Octalysis Prime, you have the power-up that allows you to gain 40% more EXP, right? That's your core drive 2 power-up. And then you have a power-up that says you only need 70% of the total EXP to level up. So those are synergetically working with each other. So that creates strategy. So boosters create strategy, which means it has meaningful play, which means it has core drive 3, empowerment of creativity and feedback. For those who are less understanding of Octalysis, that means it's on the right top of the octagon, which means it's white hat and intrinsic. Evergreen mechanics, the best, longest lasting type of motivation. Okay, so this is a simple game, and sometimes you have a slightly more complex, not a lot more complex, still just a slightly more complex game. When you get better gear, it also boosts other things, right? Some gear allow you to get level up faster. You get EXP more, so yay, that's nice. Some gear also boosts your probability of getting a treasure chest or a loot box. So you see some of these components are actually making something else better. Now over here, I say that looking cooler is the end of it, right? You look cool, that's it. And that's okay. Sometimes that would be a booster if looking cooler, let's say, allows you to join a guild. Because they look at you like, wow, this guy's so high level, we need to rely on him. And then allows you to join a guild, allows you to do other things that are empowering the game. Then yeah, sure, it's not an end. But the key thing is when you do a gamification design, you should be very, very sensitive of when does the experience end and when does you boost, right? Where are the boosts? Where are the arrows? The green arrows are really, really important in a gamification design. I keep telling my clients this. One of the easiest ways to tell if a gamification design is good or not is to look at where they put their boosters, or if they even have boosters. Most gamification designs, it's like what I said earlier, no boosters, right? But if they have boosters, that's a plus. But where they put their boosters, how do they design for their boosters, you can tell so much about how good a gamification designer is. And but again, if it ends, sometimes it's okay. We work on a client where if you keep doing amazing things, you get to interact with a celebrity, right? And that's the end of it. And interact with a celebrity doesn't help you empower you to do things inside the game. Maybe it does, right? That'd be even cooler, right? If empowering the celebrity makes you even more popular in the game, that'd be cool. But that's the end, and that's okay, because that's the ultimate goal. No one's going to be upset that they end up interacting with that celebrity. And so it's okay if it ends, but the key question is, do you have the green arrows that boost desired actions?